Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the series where we talk about 5 films thematically related to the movie we are covering this week. I am your host, Landon Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's good to be seen. What do we got?
We are talking this week, obviously, we covered ad nauseum, The Legend of Tarzan. So I have pulled 5 films that are thematically linked to this in some way or other. Do you want to wage a guess as to what films are going to be on here?
You know what? I would say probably all the other Tarzan movies that were made. You did all like 30 of the Tarzan serials.
Yeah.
And then just a video statement from you saying how much you agree with all of the ideas put forth therein, right? Am I on track?
That's a wrap for today.
Yeah. Well, great. It's more like 16-4. No, show me what you got.
All right, let's go to our first film, wasting no time. We're talking, of course, about the Alexander Skarsgård film...
The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers. This is Hamlet, but Vikings, correct? I have not, I'm afraid, seen this. I've read that it's an adaptation of Hamlet.
I don't know that I'd go full adaptation, but I could see some definite thematic similarities to it.
Yeah, it's a story about leadership, regicide, trying to figure out your meaning. Am I on the right track? Maybe you could talk about it since you seem to have seen it.
I have seen it, and I was kind of cold on it. But I'm willing to give it another.
It's a Viking movie, of course you were cold.
That's true. Yeah, I'm willing to give it another shot. Yeah, this is coming on the legs of The Lighthouse, or The Fins, I should maybe say, if you've seen The Lighthouse.
Okay.
But, I think the clear thematic relationship to The Legend of is Alexander Skarsgård's body. And
he takes his cloak off in this. It's even despite the Viking surroundings.
He has muscles in this movie that I didn't know existed, and I've studied Bruce Lee a lot. So
I also that he got more jacked for this than he did for when he played Tarzan, literature's most jacked dude.
That makes sense to me though, because when Schwarzenegger took on the mantle of Conan, he had to, slim down to do it in order to, swing the sword around properly. So, if you are playing a character that has to be agile, you can't be super beefy. But he's in full berserker mode in this movie.
Okay, much like Hamlet and much of the play Hamlet. I mean, his character is named Prince Amleth. I mean, it feels kind of like...
How did I not put that together?
I mean, or it's just the the cheap knockoff of Hamlet. It's the Hamlet that your mom says that you have at home when you ask to buy Hamlet.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that one. Because there's no real Ophelia proxy in this one. There's no Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in this movie. It's just, a guy with daddy issues. Actually, it is very close to Conan in a way. Or is Conan like Hamlet? Wow. Wow.
I'm just sitting here thinking about my favorite Robert Ludlum novel, The Ophelia Proxy.
Why? Let's move on to our next film.
I can make Ludlum jokes. What? Just because you read more books than me doesn't mean I can't make Ludlum jokes.
Moving on to our next film. I think it's going to be one you're excited about, and I'm excited to reveal it to you.
I'm excited to have it revealed to me, so let's do it. Oh, The Shadow. Is it my birthday? Am I a special little guy? If you were watching the Sci-Fi Channel in the early 2000s, you were seeing a lot of a very sexy young Alec Baldwin being the Shadow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to put it on you on this one. You tell me the thematic connections here.
I mean, the thematic connections, this is obviously based on a series of pulp novels in the same vein as Tarzan or Doc Savage or anything. The Shadow, as a superhero, I believe even predated Batman.
Yeah.
But,
most famously on the radio shows.
Yeah, it was really big on the radio, and this movie is such a love letter to old-time serials, both on the radio and on the silver screen. It's set in the 30s, a very beautiful, lavish production with great sets, Art Deco stuff, and costumes. Alec Baldwin at kind of his peak hotness, speaking of the male form. He's got these 2 cool-ass silver guns that he uses to shoot bad guys. I wonder why I liked that when I was a kid. Yeah,
he has a big old prosthetic nose when he's in shadow costume.
Yes, that's also pretty good. There's fun prosthetics. We love those. So yeah, it seems like it's, much like Tarzan, it is swinging on the vine of pulp nostalgia.
Indeed, and I don't think this one really. I don't know. It probably succeeds as much as the Legend of Tarzan. Like,
yeah, it's not like a great movie.
Yeah, I don't think there are haters of the Shadow, but like no one is really clamoring except for you about this film. However, I will say, the last time I watched this, I decided to watch it in black and white, and it was a very different experience and one that I think enhanced it. So if you're gonna go back and watch The Shadow, if you're so inspired by the Legend of Tarzan, you're like, I need more of that tasty pulp character nostalgia, watch it in black and white.
Yeah, give yourself a little extra pulp experience, an extra shot of nostalgia for the road.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Oh, come on, The Rocketeer. The hits keep on coming, Landon. You got my whole childhood laid out in front of me.
Yeah, okay, well then tell me about it.
The Rocketeer is, it is also a love letter to the pulp aesthetics of the 1930s and 40s. It's set in the late 1930s in LA, and it's about a stunt pilot who finds a secret government rocket pack and a cool-ass helmet, and he uses it to fly around and go on adventures. Also worth noting, his girlfriend is played by a young Jennifer Connelly, so if you like it when there's an incredibly beautiful woman in a movie, good news about The Rocketeer. It's a great pulpy adventure that I think succeeds far more than The Shadow or Tarzan. What would you say?
Tend to agree with that. As a kid, I remember wanting it to be more superhero-y and getting kind of like a little bored, but I've grown to appreciate it more as I've gotten older. Especially after I've really gone deep into the horror waters, because there's a goon in this that is made up to look almost identically to Rondo Hatton, and to the point where I'm like, is there a lawsuit possibly for how much? Like they just took Rondo Hatton's face and made a character, which is odd.
Yeah, it was the early 90s, man. Anything goes back then. It's easy stuff. This movie also has an original score that absolutely slaps, and I promise you, if you've been watching a movie trailer for another movie, you've probably heard the score from this used as the temp score for the marketing campaign. It's awesome.
Only thing I have left to say about The Rocketeer is that it has one of the most frustrating video game tie-ins that's ever existed.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is actually more my wheelhouse. Let's put an extra 15 minutes on the clock.
No, we only have a few minutes left, and in fact, we're going to movie number 4, which is...
Okay. Oh, Dick Tracy. That's a layup. I should have seen that one coming.
Yep. Is this... Okay, I'll start the conversation with a question for you here. Is this the first in the modern blockbuster era? Is this the first I'm doing this to make my dad proud movie?
Is it I'm doing this to make my dad proud, or is it I'm doing this because I myself liked it? How old is Warren Beatty? Like, weren't the Dick Tracy comics going when he was a little kid?
Okay. That is a good question.
I don't know. I think that this is, if anything, it's more of an antecedent to... I don't know, antecedent isn't the word. it's more in the lane of something like Star Wars, where it's just George Lucas riffing on shit that he liked when he was a kid, like samurai movies and World War II movies and Buck Rogers. I think it's I think this is more of just a star with a lot of power looking inward with his next project and trying to capture the thing that made him happy as a child.
Okay, all right. So maybe the dad stuff comes a little bit later in the 90s, but you're right. Yeah, I mean, Warren Beatty's got to be, what, at minimum late 40s, I would say, even in his 50s while he's making this. So that would put him born in the 40s. You're right. Yeah, he's exactly in that wheelhouse for seeing the Dick Tracy serials before movies, in the 1940s.
Yeah, and at the time that he was making it, he was in prime midlife crisis territory, and this movie feels like a midlife crisis.
But one that is close. This is probably closer to my childhood than The Rocketeer, as The Rocketeer is to your childhood. I had Dick Tracy action figures and trading cards and the whole deal. I was all Dick Tracy.
I think The Rocketeer came out 1 year after Dick Tracy. The big difference is that my parents loved The Rocketeer and we watched it all the time, whereas they thought Dick Tracy was shabby and low class. So I guess that my parents are calling you out, Landon. You want to fight them?
We are learning a lot about your parents on this here podcast, but maybe they have an opinion about the last film we have here.
Can't wait to see it. Ooh, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes.
Excuse me, I need you to read that over and do all of the punctuation in the title.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes, I got excited because I saw punctuation. Okay, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes.
That's a title that announces itself.
That title does not fuck around. That title demands your attention.
This is such a weird movie that, like, we talked about it ad nauseum again on the show about how much you can't take away the pulp roots of the Tarzan character, because just on a fundamental level, he's a ludicrous character.
Sure.
But to do an art house, like, thematically, like, lofty Chariots of Fire level Oscar run event of a movie out of Tarzan is bizarre to me.
It's kind of beautiful that Hollywood has tried every conceivable application of Tarzan to try and wring more life out of it. It's like, okay, well, it worked as serials. What if we do it as a words bait? No, it didn't work as that. Well, what if we do it as kind of like a woke action movie about why genocide is bad? No, also not that. Like, it's going to be a VR experience in like 8 years, probably.
Yeah, not even that long.
Or it'll be like an interactive theater, like Zan No More situation.
So the reason I chose this one over any of the other Tarzans that had come out right before Legend of Tarzan is that I don't think people know about this one as much, which is surprising for the amount of budge that it had and the amount of awards push that it had. And at risk of repeating what I said on the episode, it's worth watching this long-ass Tarzan movie for no other reason than to watch Christopher Lambert sitting at a dinner table, opening his mouth and having real-world animal sound effects come out of it and have it played totally straight-faced.
I mean, but you could also just get that clipped out of context on YouTube and use it as a reaction when somebody says something you don't like on social media. Just roar back at them.
That is kind of brilliant. I might do that from here forward.
I personally, I'm just insulted that you were surprised that a lavishly funded Tarzan movie made no splash and wasn't remembered when we literally recorded a whole dang podcast about that not happening recently.
Maybe you're right though. Maybe Tarzan is built for just like little tiny morsels of things, because we have the Sam Jackson yelling shit and jumping off the cliff reaction that we have on YouTube now.
Of course.
And now we're going to take
welcome.
Christopher Lambert doing a lion roar at a dinner table. Maybe I'll search out the other ones and see what else there is.
Yeah, just trace amounts of Tarzan. That's the most the body can handle.
All right, well, that's it for this episode. Those are 5 films you can check out if you like The Legend of Tarzan or you want something in lieu of it. Until next time, I've been Landon Solano.
And I've been Truman Caps. Bye!
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.